So, a tale as old as time. Square Enix, formerly it used to be Squaresoft, back in the day. Same thing as like most companies like Bethesda, Ubisoft, all of them. Square Enix, back when it was Squaresoft, if you saw that name on the game, you're like, yeah, this is gonna be good. But not anymore. Like every other gaming company, they've just turned to the dark side, where they put certain things above what's the most important thing about a game is making it fun. So, but now Square Enix announces a 3-year plan to reboot and awaken the company. Why have they waited this long? Square Enix has been in hot water for a while. Why are they just now deciding to do this? Also, actually, that'll probably, maybe not, I don't know. Depends on how I feel when I get to the end of this article. Square Enix announced a new 3-year plan to reboot and awaken the company in order to achieve long-term growth. My eyes twitchy. In the company's new medium-term business plan, Square Enix shared its plans to optimize development costs, release titles on multiple platforms instead of opting for exclusivity, and expanding its overseas sales. In optimizing the company's development costs, Square Enix revealed that it decided to discontinue development on some titles and invest additional funds into titles that require refinement, thereby steadily implementing a strategy of selecting and concentrating development resources. So, the that Kingdom Hearts game, Missing Link, not happening anymore. Probably one of those casualties of this whole thing where they're like, okay, well, we're just gonna give up on this game after 4 years, and then we're just gonna take that and put all those people who are working on this game onto Kingdom Hearts 4 because that's a main title game. So Missing Link, not happening. People have been wanting it for 4 years, not happening. They've already come out and said that they've decided to cancel the game after 4 years of working on it. But that'll probably be another video. Specifically, the company has cut development costs by nearly 50% since FY 2022. While it is working to keep costs down, it has also adopted a multi-platform release strategy as for a number of its games. This includes releasing Final Fantasy VII Remake, which people were like, "Oh, great, Final Fantasy VII," and then they played. It's like, okay, well, Final Fantasy VII, and then I think there's like the DLC or add-on or whatever for it is. People were like, okay, this is kind of crap. A Nintendo Switch sometime in the future, as well as releasing. Oh, nice. Releasing Final Fantasy 1 through 6 to the Switch earlier this year, and releasing Bravely Default Flying Fairy to Switch 2 in June 2024. Bravely Default Flying Fairy. The company noted this multi-platform strategy is already working out as revenue from PC sales and its digital entertainment segment increased around 15 to 20%, or around 18 billion Japanese yen since the previous fiscal year. It specifically noted that it was able to enter the Chinese mainland market, where it has been difficult to reach through code sales. So just like other woke companies, they didn't learn because woke can't learn. These are all things Ubisoft did. Unlike the ongoing civil war with Sony, Japan versus American Corps, this replay of the Ubisoft plan tells me Squeenix doesn't get it. Squeenix. Yeah, look at all the crap, like the remakes that they've done, changing things with certain characters. It's just like, you know, the fans are going to complain about it. You know, between that, the having exclusivity to like, oh, it's a PlayStation exclusive. It's like, okay, well, now you're limiting how much money you're going to make. If you release it on Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, I mean, most of the time with the Nintendo, like Nintendo Switch, there's always a huge downgrade. Always a huge downgrade. Whether it be visuals or playability or whatever the case is. Nintendo just obviously doesn't look as good as some of the other consoles. So, but yeah, when you just kind of reduce your games to a single platform, like, oh, it's only going to be on this. Quite frankly, Nintendo should be the one mostly for Final Fantasy, considering Final Fantasy started on the Nintendo. So if anyone was supposed is going to get exclusive Final Fantasy titles, it should be Nintendo, since that's where it started. But obviously being bought out and this and that, they're no longer with Nintendo, but it would just make more sense. If it wasn't for Nintendo, there really wouldn't be Final Fantasy. So, in a sense, I mean, Nintendo wasn't the one who made Final Fantasy, but it pretty much gave gave Final Fantasy the chance to be on the Nintendo. Um, when did the first Final Fantasy game come out? Yeah, Square made Final Fantasy 1 in 1987. So, yeah, if it wasn't for Nintendo publishing, letting them do the game and working with them and getting it onto the Nintendo, I don't think Final Fantasy would be what it is today. So, like I said, if anything, it would make more sense to have more exclusive stuff on Nintendo, since if it wasn't for Nintendo, Final Fantasy may not even have ended up as a thing. So, but yeah, when exclusivity and that really dampens how much money you're gonna make. Again, when you take your games and say you're gonna remake them, but then you just start censoring things and adding things that weren't there, as in like character traits or you know stuff that wasn't in the original, that stuff that really doesn't make the game any different. It doesn't add anything to the story. It's just like, oh hey, this person's been gay all along. It's just it people get tired of it. So business practices and gameplay, game stuff, it just Square Enix just hasn't been doing it. And then you have them with Kingdom Hearts. It's just like anytime now. Anytime, guys. But it's current day, so really can't expect much. Um Dragon Quest to be released in 2025. Dragon Quest 1 and 2. What they need to do is re-release Chrono Cross, not as a remaster or like a remaster like they did, because they re-released Chrono Cross, but it's just like visually enhanced a little bit. But I want to see the entire, like, just the game entirely redone, but graphic wise, make it more like the Final Fantasy VII remake. I mean, for me, Chrono Cross is one of my favorite games of all time, and I don't think it gets the love that it deserves. People are like, "Oh, it's so different than Chrono Trigger." It's like that's the point. What console was Chrono Trigger on? Super Nintendo, and it was a 16-bit game. What console was Chrono Cross on? The PlayStation. It's full 3D. Yeah, they're going to be different, but I love the game, and I have since I played it in like 2000, was it 3? 2002, 2003. But yeah, they should re-release that. Just give it the Final Fantasy VII remake treatment. Just beautiful graphics and stuff like that. But just keep the game the same. Don't censor anything. Don't change the clothes of any character. Don't censor any language. Just keep the game as is. Just make it look nice. Kind of redo some of the music and the sounds to make them sound more crisp and more not modern, but up to date. There you go. People would love to do that. People would love to play, especially a game like Chrono Cross. The music's gorgeous, the graphics, the characters, everything are gorgeous. Everything's gorgeous in that game. And to see it given the Final Fantasy VII remake treatment, I think would be really, really cool. But that's just me. That's just me. People don't understand why I like Chrono Cross. They're different. Yeah, it's different. Guess what? Mario 64 was different from Super Mario World. Link to the Past was a lot different, or Ocarina of Time was different than Link to the Past. Just because a game's different doesn't mean it's bad. Come on. Anyway. But yeah, Square Enix 3-year plan. If they can do it, they can do it. If not, I mean, it's modern day. In the next 3 years, we'll see what their priorities are and where their loyalties lie. And when it comes to certain things, either it be to investors or to the gamers, to the customers. And we'll see if they keep making the same mistakes over and over, or if they're going to actually learn from them and actually want to become a viable gaming company again. So we'll wait and see. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.